Hey guys, thanks for watching my toothless tail tutorial. Woo! It's a big one. So I didn't have enough time to videotape me in a shot with this stuff before I had to send it off, but I promise I will for the next one. I've got a really big project that I'm working on right now, so I'm super excited to show you guys. And I promise I will be in those videos to make them a little more personal. Okay, awesome. Anyway, moving on. So basically, that's my fabric I started with there. So I cut out my basic shape for the tail, which is pretty straightforward. So cut that out, flip it inside out, and then just pin that whole edge. We're going to just take a sewing machine and just go along that entire edge there. And then it should be good to go. Okay, we had a little trouble getting going here, but it's all good. So I like to kind of remove the pins as I go. Some people leave them in, whatever you want to do. Either way, one way or another, sew that entire edge. Pretty much all the way till the end, and then you can kind of decide later on where you want to cut it, like how long you want it, depending on your costume. Kind of cut it off there, but you get the point. You don't really need to see that whole thing. So flip it back right side out. Can be challenging. Okay, moving on to the fin template. So I used red felt for one fin, and then this kind of like leather material which had like a black felt on the back, which was really nice. Just make sure you cut out the right pattern. If you're using a material that has two different sides, you're going to end up gluing them together. So just make sure you cut out, basically cut it out on the proper side, if that makes sense. Alright, and step 3. So we're describing a polyester fill, and fill that bad boy right up. Make sure you get it right down to the end though. I kind of filled it up first and realized that there was like a 3-inch gap at the end that didn't have any in it, and it was just like hanging there and looked really awkward. So make sure you take the time, use like a pencil or anything really, and just get it right down to the end. After that, I just held my template up and made sure that the fin looked good and it was in the right place, the right size. It was all the way I wanted it. Once it was, I just pinned where I wanted to sew, and then I went ahead and sewed that line there. Just cut the extra fabric off. Okay, and now we're just going in with the sewing machine and the 2 pieces of fabric that we have. Just make sure you pin those together pretty much everywhere that you can. I figured I didn't need to show the black and the red one again. You just do the same for both of them. So you're going to sew along all of the edges of the actual fin there, except for the entire, basically that whole flat edge. You want to just leave that open, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Now I actually wanted the red half to be a real prosthetic, just like the movie. So I glued on the black fin. I wanted that one to be like permanent, to stay on, to make it look obviously more real. And the other one is removable all the time. All the time. Okay, so I just took some barbecue skewers here and just put them in the top of each fin to kind of give it, I don't know, that fin look. If you look at a picture, like a reference photo, it's kind of got those lines down the side of the fin there. So I just put a skewer in place for each of them. And I kind of marked where I wanted them before I glued them in there, because once they're in there pretty good. So just cover it with hot glue, stick it in there as quick as you can, and I just pinched down the edges. So you'll see it gives it that kind of ridge effect there. And then I just used pliers and trimmed off the edges of the skewers so it didn't stick out. And then I basically went along and sewed that edge once I had those skewers in place. Now this is the prosthetic. This is a bit of a tricky one. Basically, it's supposed to look like 3 pieces kind of overlapping. So I just took 3 popsicle sticks and cut the fabric into 3. And I'm going to glue those popsicle sticks right on there, on each piece, and then glue basically those 3 strips together again. Yeah, this was the hardest part, I think, for sure. It took me a couple times. And on the right of the screen there, you can kind of see I made that buckle as well. So that'll all go together in the end here. And I'm not going to do this forever because you don't need to sit here and watch me glue 10 million popsicle sticks together. But basically, we glue those 3 strips together and we get one long strip. And I just connected the 2 just like the fins, so 2 layers. So along that entire edge, and I kind of wanted it, see how it's bending there? That's the effect I wanted. That's what the popsicle sticks will kind of do, so it has that break there in between. And then I glued on my strap, or sorry, sewed on the strap at the end. And that's going to keep everything in place. Using double-sided Velcro, I just got 2 strips of it, cut out one for right there on the tail, glued that on, and then I cut out the other half and glued and partially sewed it on for a little extra support to the prosthetic. As you'll see right here, I kind of take it off and it goes along there, and then the 2 will stick together. And then this is the scales. So this is a quick one. Basically, I just cut all the scales out of foam, did a coat of just black paint, and then I went over once that dried with a coat of that glitter sparkle glue. I'll post that kind of below what it is, but you can pretty much get it from any dollar store. It's just like a black sparkle glitter paint. It's epic. Anyway, and then you just take those once they dry, glue them all onto the top of the tail, which I did not get a chance to record. But that's pretty straightforward, as you can see here in this little video. Just have a look. So I've glued about 10 to 12 of those little scales on the top there just to kind of give it a nice effect. This is the final look. So this is me putting the prosthetic on. Actually, I lied. I didn't have the, as you can see in the background, the white face is cut out. I've got to put that on yet, the little design in the background there. But other than that, that is pretty much done and put together. So you can take it on and off as you please. It's nice for transport as well. So that's kind of why I made it in the first place, you know, removable. But it works well because it's supposed to be. So that is the final one. Thank you for watching, guys, and please subscribe if you like my work. I'm gonna have a lot more coming up in the future. So thank you.